Hello again. My name is Ross Eggert. Again, this is Tuesday. I believe it's August 11th. I'm standing in front of what North Dakota wheat field looks like. Now, some of you may not know where your bread comes from. Well, this is where it starts. See, on each one of them stalks out there, there's a head of wheat. And it's got quite a few seeds in it, or quite a few pieces of grain, and they take those to the flour mills, or to the mills, and they grind them up and make flour out of them, and then they start to the point where you use it to make bread, and then they go to the bakeries or to the home to where you can use it in your own home. Again, this comes back to the cap and trade bill that's pending in our government right now. As in the previous bill or previous video that I made that basically for the independent trucker out there, or the consumer, or you and me, the consumers of the products that we buy and we use every day. Well, out in this wheat field, I want to explain to you how the process works of starting to growing that wheat. In the spring, that is bare ground out there, and the farmer has to come in. He has to till that ground once and sometimes twice in order to kill the weeds, get the ground ready for planting the wheat, and he uses a tractor and different implements pulled behind the tractor in order to make the ground ready to put the wheat in. So he's got to go around and around and around each one of these fields out here. And then the next step is you got to hook that tractor up to a drill. Well, a drill is what they put the wheat in to put the grains of wheat into the ground so they'll grow. So he's got to go around and around and around again in order to put the seed in the ground. Well, after that, after some rains and stuff, it starts coming up in little green shoots and growing and growing and starting getting taller and taller. Well, out in the middle of there, this is a pretty clean wheat field, but a lot of times there'll be weeds growing up out in there. Well, weeds are pretty tough on equipment when you go to cut it, and they don't really want it mixed in with the different grains because it brings the quality of the grain down, which lowers the price of it. So what they do is they'll go around there with a sprayer with a herbicide to kill the weeds. And once the weeds are gone, then they can pretty much let her grow up. Now, this is August. This will be ready to combine and harvest within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I imagine, maybe 4 weeks. Once all the green is out of it, and once it's fairly well mature and dried out, and then they have to come in and harvest this wheat. They have to cut it down. See, this will turn into a golden brown just before they harvest it. But when they start harvesting it, they'll come in with what they call combines. They're big machines that cut all this down, and they separate the stalks and the chaff from the wheat seeds themselves, the grain itself. And the grain goes into a big hopper. But again, when you harvest, you got to go around and around and around these fields here in order to get it all. And once it's in the hopper, then they dump it in trucks. So you have trucks involved also. You dump the wheat from the combine into the trucks, and they haul it off to the grain bin. And once again, that's just part of the process. Well, I want you to imagine going around this field several times during the course of a year and having trucks out here and everything to haul the wheat. Well, how much energy is that going to take? How much fuel does that take to make that wheat ready for you, the consumer? How much energy at the plant where they grind up this wheat into flour? How much energy does that plant use? Well, if they pass this cap and trade, it's going to come down to you and I paying for that what I'm just going to call flat out what it is, a tax, because these companies aren't going to eat that tax. They're going to pass it on down. The farmer can't can't keep track of that tax either, or it's going to hurt him also, because he's got to pay more tax on the fuel in order to get this wheat to grow. So what are we to do? Are those additional taxes that we want on us as consumers? You know, if we're not careful, we're going to be back to horse and buggy days. So I encourage you to stand with me on my walk to D.C. These are the kind of things that I'm trying to fight for. I want to fight for the American dream. I want to fight for that farmer out there who makes his living raising wheat for us to eat, or any other kind of produce out there, watermelons. I don't care what it is, what part of this country that has agriculture, whatever they're growing, because they all use energy. And the plants that they take their produce to, they all use energy also. And where's that energy? Where's that tax? Where's that cap and trade money going to come from? It's going to come from you and me, the consumer, as well as all the people that produce these products. Well, I'm telling you right now, if you're interested in my walk to D.C., email me at woodsman6119@yahoo.com, or continue watching video updates that I'll be placing on YouTube, and my channel again is Woodsman6119. Please leave your comments or email me, or both, and let me know what your concerns are, and maybe I can talk about them, or I'll try to talk about them on future videos or future emails. God bless you, and God bless America.